Well, back at the crib. Finally got done with that bus ride. Transportation is a mug, at least public transportation. But, you know, each and every day I feel like I just grow mentally, you know, with every step that I take, with every move that I have to make. It's like, I really grow into understanding the importance of humbleness and freedom at the same time, and it's beautiful to feel it all at the same time. It's like, no matter how unfortunate I am, I'm still very fortunate, for having another day and another life to actually wake up to. And it's like every day is another chance to something greater and better. And, as long as you're not stopping, there's always a chance for something greater. So it's kind of like, I grow to understand that I'm this sort of person that, doesn't look at being unfortunate as a, determination to give up on life permanently or something. It's like I never could be that person to see that side of life. And I'm not saying that, I'm not trying to take a hit out on certain people that do think about suicide and things like that, because I'm telling you, life, I know for a fact that life can definitely be hard enough for you to think about suicide, but it's kind of like it just depends on the type of person that you were willing to become throughout all the things that you have had to go through in your past and coming up to the present future that you're living in. It's like each and every one of us has a choice to either think one way or another. And for some people, that may look at life as the most unbearable, hardest thing to ever actually go through. Those are the ones that definitely had to go through a lot worse than others. And I just understand those people. I get it to the point where it's like you have your hope and you have your... And I get those kind of people. I'm sorry my video cut off, but we all have a choice to tell our minds where we really want our minds to go. And sometimes people, use the excuse of how their life has been. Okay, so I'm gonna wrap this fact up real quick before my phone goes off again. Anyways, well, I just wanted to, briefly get on the ways of having so much that you have to give to the world in such an unfortunate state of living. And it makes you feel like all the faith in the world and all the believing in the pushing through all the effort makes you feel like it still doesn't take away the unfortunateness in your life and the unfortunate events that happen and the places that it puts you in. And it makes you feel like you just, you're having all this faith and it's all going in vain. But the problem with people and faith is that we really don't grasp the understanding of what faith really means. And it's not really a fact of us having to understand how to have faith so that we can get good or more good. And And that's one thing that a lot of people don't really, pick up from what it means to have faith, because you can't go out looking for something good to happen for you because you helped Jerry up the street and you gave him $5, so why ain't $5 coming to me? And it's like, we do things because we look for good to happen in return so much, to the point where we forget why it's important to do good things in the first place, And because we take our mind off of that fact, it kind of just makes life, do what it does, either way it goes. And no matter what we think, life is going to go the way it goes. But it's the person. It really depends on the type of person that gives out good energy, that gives out, that does good for other people, and really just truly either doing it from their heart just because, or doing it because they feel like maybe if I do good, then good will happen to me. It's two different people in this world. And most of the time, those people that are out there looking for something good to happen to them after they have done something good are the ones that, lose their patience so much quicker and blames the rest of the world so much faster for all the bad things that happen to them. But, Christina up the street, she don't never have problems. And how come I'm just as nice as her, and how come she get all the good stuff? And it's just this jealousy, this envy that we linger in into our hearts, that make us feel as though we deserve something, and we're good enough for this, or we're good enough for that. But at the end of the day, there's people out there that's living, and they're not trying to find out how to act in order to have blessings come their way. It's like they're living because that's what they supposed to do. And sometimes we take our mind off of the fact of we just supposed to be living. We're not supposed to be looking for all these good things that we see on TV. And I'm telling you, y'all, like, this television, oh man, it just programmed the hell out of all of us and our children. Our whole just generation has just been programming us day in and day out, year after year, generation after generation. And it's starting to be so overwhelming, because now we're dealing with so many different personalities in this world, because everybody in the world is just trying to figure out, what road do I take to just have good in my life? And it's not supposed to be like that. That's not, the ways that we supposed to be looking at things in order to find good. Like, life is not worth living for you to find good, if that makes sense. Like, we are not living this life, and we weren't promised this day so that we can figure out how to have good things happen to us for the rest of our lives. Like, we just got to get out of this place of feeling like there's something that's supposed to be that we supposed to be doing to make good things happen. And it's not supposed to be like that. It's not that easy. It's not, life will not get that way. Once you have good, you're going to turn around and see some bad. And that's what it is, That's what, I guess, puts me in a position of feeling like I don't have to feel like being unfortunate is a part of the negative decisions that I've made in my life or something. Like, everything plays a part when you do wrong and you have to get punished for it, or you have to deal with the consequences of it. But it doesn't put you in a place of, now that you've done wrong will always happen in your life. Like, that's not the determination of you making bad choices, because we all make bad choices, and we all fix ourselves up to get back into a place where now we're content and we are glad to have went through whatever battles we had to go through in order to find peace in our life once again. And that peace doesn't have to be, now I got $1 trillion, so now I can be at peace. Like, the peace doesn't have to, it doesn't have to have anything to do with money. It doesn't have to have anything to do with everybody in your house is happy now and things like that. It has everything to do with you learning a lesson. You learning that life is not about you being happy. Life is just life. Life is just there. Because without the Most High putting us in a position and telling us, that we have this chance to fix, what our ancestors destroyed and people in, long ago, like, you don't have to believe these things and stuff, because history is history and it's something that won't change. So, people putting a picture of the Most High into image form has nothing to do with who the Most High is and how he works. Either way it goes, the history of us making these mistakes has put us in a position to where now we just have to be thankful that we have life. It could have been taken away from us. We could have had it to where, us or our children would never see another day. So it's not about finding happiness and you're not doing the right thing in your life to find happiness. It's about, are you going to find happiness in peace? Even though you don't have what you feel like you're supposed to have by now, or you didn't get the blessings that you feel like you should have got for doing this or for doing that. It's about, are you still going to feel like your life is at peace even when you don't get things your way or things don't go the way you planned? Because that's one thing for sure, that the Most High loves to make us look bad, like embarrass us on feeling like, oh, I got it all in control. Oh, I know exactly what my life going on. I know, because people just have all of these plans for themselves when they're not even the reason why they are born. They're not even the reason why they on this earth, but they gonna tell this earth and themselves that, yeah, I know exactly where I'm supposed to be, though. I know exactly what road I'm supposed to choose. I know everything. And then your life goes into shambles. And now you're looking at the Lord like, well, what did I do? I thought you wanted me to plan my life. No. The Lord wanted you to be at peace. He just wants you to be happy. He wants you to stop worrying about what you got to do next week in order to become this person the next day. He don't want you to be thinking about that, because that takes all the focus off of, thank you, Lord, for even giving me a day that wasn't even promised to me, that I didn't even deserve, or my people that I've come from didn't even deserve, but you gave it to me. So thank you. No matter what happens in this day, thank you. And we take our minds off of that because we feel like, most of the time it be the bougie people that feel like they got everything all together, and, life is going the way that they planned and everything. So now they don't have to look at the Lord. They don't have to look at what he done for them, because they already got what they need, and, they could just pray every day and say thank you, Lord, and live the way they live, and worry about the things that they worrying about, because Now, if they don't stay stressed, then that means that their life can fall in a matter of seconds. Like, their whole plans can be tarnished, and everything can just fail if they stop thinking about all the things they had to think about to have this perfect life. And it's like, so where's your peace that I planted you on this earth to have? Okay, so now you got all this money, and if you're happy with this money, okay, you've picked your happiness, but internally, where is your peace? Like, you really think the Lord put us on this earth to find out how good we can be with our money and buying stuff? No, the Lord never cared about tangible items. That's something that I just truly believe it. I truly understand it, because me growing up in a Christian-based sort of community and having a grandfather that was a pastor throughout my childhood, going to vacation Bible school, all these things that I had to deal with as a child, and growing up with that knowledge, and building up more knowledge in my adult teen to my adult years, it just put me in a place where I was able to actually, put these things together, put two and two together, and understand, like, the word is always speaking mostly about gratitude when it comes to us. When it speaks about us, it's speaking about gratitude. It's speaking about being thankful, being grateful type of thing. And when we're not grateful, we go through all of this mess until we learn our lesson on how we should have been grateful in the beginning, and none of this would have even happened, sort of thing. So it's like, me staying in my lane, I feel like, is the most important thing that I can do personally, because the world is going to keep changing no matter what we do in life. So if we're changing with it, then that means that we're taking whoever is in charge of this world right now word. We're taking their word for, okay, this is supposed to change because it's good. That's supposed to change because it's good for us. This is good for us. That's good for us. But the Bible has already put in place all the things that are good for us. But because we're not talking about the Bible anymore in these day and ages, we put someone else in the place of the word of the Lord to tell us what's good for us and change up what the word said. Money is still not a factor, but money is becoming more and more important to have in this lifetime. People are becoming more and more stressed with the fact of them not having money, to the point where they're taking lives. And for the people that actually have money, their life is getting more and more stressful because of the fact of them knowing how it feels to not have money and having fear of ever being in that position again. So they're scheming against other families, other friends, people that they actually care about in their hearts. They scheme against them to make sure that they stay afloat. They forget about their children's feelings and emotions and how they have to grow up through whatever they're growing up through, because it keeps them stable in this certain position that brings fear, or not bring fear, but I'm trying to understand, show y'all how I'm actually seeing this in my mind, but fear is what's destroying families and relationships and children, the growth of our children. Fear of never wanting to do this again. Fear of never wanting to go back to that place again. Fear of dying, not ever knowing how it feels to have something tangible. The fear is what's killing all of us. And we sit there and we still praise this money. We still praise these bad things that we do just so that we can get money. The fact that we spend all of our time where they give us money and take away all the time that we could be spending with our children, with our family, the ones that love us. We've gotten so used to that thought pattern of, well, if you want us to be happy, if you want to still have good things and shoes on your feet, clothes, then I gotta work. And you gotta be okay with that. You gotta be okay with growing up alone, fending for yourself throughout the day because your mother has morning shifts, afternoon shifts, and sometimes she gotta take the double shift overnight. And we gotta be okay with our children fending for themselves, being home alone sometimes because they at that age to be able to do it. Because if they not, then there won't be a home to come to. And it disturbs me, y'all. Sometimes it distracts me because this is the world we all live in. And I'm not here to put it out there like it's everybody's fault and everybody wrong, because we not wrong. We not wrong, y'all. We only taking what's given to us. And that is the main reason why it's so much more important now in these day and ages to understand how important your internal peace really is. Teaching your children what internal peace really does and really gives them. Because if we have to do this, y'all, if we have to do this, then we might as well save each other in the midst of it. Don't keep killing people because they got the PS5 and the new Xbox. Because we want to feel good, so good tangible things make us feel good. Because if we playing on our 2K, we ain't got to worry about that bill that we got to pay today. And it's like, it's hard out here. It's a hard life. And I get it. And I'm only blaming those that feel like they have a right to look down on people that don't have the credentials to get that good job that they got because they didn't take the time out to get some schooling or some education and go to college. And most of us grew up wanting to go to college, but did our mama have enough money to put us through all of that? Did we even have enough money to put us through all of that? And not just money, but what about our mindset? Was our mind picture perfect in a way of us being able to actually focus on having that, going to school for this law degree and that law degree. We focus so much on the emotional state of our growing up, and how some of our parents was abusive, some of our parents were never there, some of our parents was smiling in our face every day but lying behind our back. We don't really know who we live with, we don't really know who we come from, and we dealt with those emotions. So in school we didn't pay attention. Like we were supposed to, and when we got out of school we couldn't wait to get out of school to just be free and do our own thing. So why in the world we think about college after that? More school? It's like, I blame those people for looking down on people like that. Because maybe you went through that too, and you were strong enough to just not care about your feelings, not care about what type of life you actually came from, and kudos to you. That's all good. But instead of being like that yourself and having that fulfillment to understanding the type of mentality that you needed to get further through going through a past life like that, or going through your childhood and growing up like that, and not showing other people around you that did have those same problems but didn't know how to dig deep into their mentality to understand how to avoid those problems so that they could focus. And you just sat there and you just had all that understanding in your mind. You had all that energy that person could have used to understand how to get through it just like you did, but you wanted to keep it locked up because you don't want nobody to know how you get through things, because they just need to find out themselves. And we just a world of people that don't care about helping each other. We just a world of people, and we're gonna hide all the good information that we have, because if we give that up, then that just makes us look more mediocre. And if I give it up to one person, then everybody gonna start doing it. Well, isn't that what we want in this world? Or do we want to keep it closed and kept so that we can be the only king roaming around? So them the only people I'm upset with. It be those main people that get up there at the top of their chain, and they don't want to give you no pointers to get there, because then you'll be up there with them. Then they can't be king all by themselves. Or queen. However you put it. We all people, men and women, we all do this to each other. And it's a sad, sad world. Because how in the world are we supposed to be that person to be the change if we don't want to be that person to be the change because we want to be the only change? You sit there and you're supposed to show your brothers and sisters how to come up. Give them the, what they could do to actually do better in their situation, and not being so so hostile about it, or just petty at the same time. Like, you should know this, but I'm gonna give you some answers. It's like we can't never come at anything gentle. And if we are the type of person that comes at stuff gentle, then that's the type of person that got to be a bad person. They must be hiding all that envy, jealousy, bad stuff, all that stuff inside of them. but you never see them walking around being a bad person to anyone. But you just want to assume that they must be a bad person because they don't show that they're a bad person. Y'all gotta make sense out here. You gotta make sense out here if you really want to look like a certain type of person that wants to help the rest of the world, the rest of the community, the rest of our people. Okay, if you don't care about our people, then put it out there like that. Put it out there like that. Let them know straight up so they can know who to be around, how to get away from you. If they don't need to be around that, like, we need to start being honest with each other. If you don't like black people but you black, then say that shit. If you don't want to help black people but you want to help them in a way of in a way of being able to get paid, as long as somebody paying you, then you'll help. Then say that. Be out front with it. Be outright with it. Like, don't hide and smile in people's face and oh yeah, I wish you could work here and doing all this petty stuff. Cause this ain't really getting us nowhere. And what about our children? Y'all look at each other as adults and y'all say, oh, that person could have did better in their life, and you got so much to talk about when it comes to other people. But when it comes to yourself and the change that you can make from the options that you've had in your life and the resources that you're able to put out there because you have certain people in your life to help you, it's like, use that. Help that community, help that town, help so that people can start clinging on to that positiveness and start bringing more positive attributes to certain situations, certain groups. This is how we build from piece by piece. This is how we build. This is how we build. Piece by piece. There is no building if everybody want to be the chief. I know you feel like maybe I just need to wait until I'm actually in that position to start helping everybody else. And yeah, kudos to you for even thinking like that, because yes, that helps. That still helps. And it's not you trying to put the people down in the midst of you trying to pick yourself up, but you just saying, look, right now I gotta pick myself up because I don't have the resources that other people have that are already in that place to be able to help. But when I get into that place to be able to help, I'm gonna reach out and help those that are trying to understand how to get in that place from where they are. It's not easy out here in this world, y'all. We gotta face facts. And when we know that it's not easy, we can't be looking at the next person, putting them down, making them feel like that because their appearance, they'll never be nothing. Because their appearance is for a reason. Just like a man with $1 million will walk around looking like a hobo, the same person that only got $2 walks around looking like a hobo. They both have reasons why they want to walk around looking like a hobo. But that doesn't take away what they're trying to get to in their life. We got to stop judging and we got to start listening. Who is this person for real? Who is that person? Where are they trying to go? What are they trying to do in their life? We stereotype and then we move on. That ain't help. See those people out there with all this money and oh, you a rapper, you this and that, so you gotta look good for people on TV. If the people behind the camera didn't tell you to give these people this money and help these people with this charity, would you do it? Would you do it anyway? That's what matters when it comes to getting to know people and getting to know the people that you really want to help. If you helping a rapper that only just gives out charity and helps people because they managers say that it's gonna make their image look good, they don't care about the. I was about to say a cuss word. They don't care about the people. But you got rappers and singers out there that actually live normal lives with their mates, and they sit down in the living room and they talk about, well, you know, since all this stuff that didn't happen in the pandemic, whatever didn't happen, we should go out there at their place and, you know, spend at least $50,000 on them people because they really need help. They don't need no newscast to tell them to think about that. They don't need their mama to tell them. They don't need their cousins to tell them about it. If they seen it on the news already, they see people need help, they got the money to help them, let's go help. Those are the people that you want to keep getting to know and understanding and getting to where they got their understanding from to get to where they are. But be patient. Things take time. Everybody can't be a singer. Everybody can't be a rapper. You know, I just use that as an example. But we as people, normal people, working day to day, know what you're using your money for. Use your money in the right ways. Do what you're supposed to do in the right way. If you want to be that person that's actually here for a purpose, be that purpose in life then. Be that purpose for the people that need you. This world need us. And people keep saying that so much. It's like, how can we even stress this enough? For everybody to understand. Like, we should all understand. Look around the world. We need each other. But we sitting here like ain't nothing going on. We just, oh, well, you know, I'll deal with that tomorrow. Well, hopefully this go right. Hopefully that go right. And nobody putting in action, y'all. I guess people with money, they must be the wrong people to be having some money right now in this day and age, because we obviously would have been in a better spot in life if there were more people that actually had money and actually cared about the world needing each other, did something about the world needing each other. I respect T.I. I respect people like Jay-Z. I respect these people so much because they using every type of resource that they have, and they have so much more than we do as normal modern day civilians. But they making this program, and then this year they making that program. The year after that, the year before that, they tried to do this and get the community to start doing that. And it's like, all they could do is put out the effort. And all we have to do is agree to that effort and take stands for whatever the community or the people with money putting out for us to become greater. We have to take those we have to take those opportunities, y'all, and start focusing on what those opportunities actually mean for us as a people. We can't just look at it as, oh, T.I., he out here doing something else. And, you know, we just be looking at TV, y'all. And because we make $300 a check, we feel like that $100 that we put on trying to put effort towards being better as a people gonna mess up the rest of our life. You get a whole nother check again. What, you scared to be broke for another week? When you've been broke all your life, when you've been down all your life. For real? It's like we really got to look at what's important. We got to focus our mind, money, soul on what is important. If this money don't mean nothing, then that means your soul really needs to be in alignment for you to understand what actually does mean something. Because all these years, all we've been doing is putting our money in the wrong place, y'all. That's why ain't nothing happening. So let's just start doing it right, you know? And I said all this to really just get on a point of understanding with y'all. Because, like I said, every day, it's a day for me to really just grow into my understanding of what humbleness really does. And humbleness really makes me think. It really makes me look around. It makes me observe things that really are important. And the thoughts that I've had so long ago that come back to me now. And I'm just like, well, that must be why I thought about this. Because now, this is something I'm definitely eager to act on. And now it's time for us all to start thinking. We racing to the money so fast, but we racing to it for what? We just racing to it to pay our rent, or we just racing to it to, ain't nothing wrong with just doing that for now, if that's all you got, and if that's all you getting in, and that's the biggest thing that you really trying to make sure that you got stable, then yeah, focus on your rent, focus on your bills and stuff. But when that is all settled, when you get into a place of settlement and you're not worried about paying the rent because you know you got the rent and you know that you're able to take care of yourself in whatever way, then after that it's time to start really thinking about where your money really should be going. And how important is that source that you're trying to invest your money in? How important is it to you, to your children, to your community? How important is it? Well, I guess this is another journal. Again, I keep doing these long videos. But I'm glad because I'm just glad to get it all out. I'm glad for, I'm glad that I feel like it doesn't, it doesn't faze me to just speak on the truth. Because the truth is the only thing that matters to me now that I've been in a place in my life that I've never been in my whole life. It made me this way. It made me to start opening up a lot more and really trying to focus on the things that are more important than what I thought was important. Because what I thought was important, I really grew up, I feel. I didn't know what was important. The only thing I knew was important was my kids. The only thing that I felt like I needed to live for my kids, their future, their mind is important. And what I do throughout my life and the decisions that I make with my mind, my body, my soul, my choices, everything that I invest in, it coincides with the things that my children need in this life to be okay. So that's what I'm going to focus on now. Because now I know. And I just hope you know, guys. Like I said, every time I speak, it's on a personal note. Just me. Think about it. I'm about to eat this lean cuisine Dollar Tree pizza.